What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and I do apologize for the late video, but I wanted to play these characters, get a feel for them, do some testing with them, do some comparison with their prior uniforms, so I could give you guys an idea of where these new uniforms stand in the game. But before we talk any more about these uniforms, I do want to say thank you to Netmarble for a few things. I think the new UI is quite awesome. I actually like the color scheme of it. I enjoy the blue. Some people don't like the darkness of it, but I actually quite enjoy it. It's actually pretty easy to move around and figure out where you're going. Also, in the dispatch mission, I've actually been playing this for some time now, and I've gotten all the way up to stage 5-1, and I can tell you, I do believe there's some kind of bugs going on in here. You see I did 14 of the 15 here, and you have to clear this first one clear one or more characters with mind abilities. I did this stage with Psylocke, and it still won't clear, and she does have the mind ability. Another thing to note is here, I believe it's in this one here, we have clear one or more with creature type characters. Well, the thing about that is, in the patch notes, they said that they changed Sentinel all uniforms from creature to other, Ultron from creature to other, and Dormammu from alien to other. Well, I think there's some kind of bug because of that, because let me know in the comments if you guys know of any creature types, but I tried plugging in Ultron and Sentinel, and I wasn't getting this requirement. So let me know in the comments if you've had any problems with that, or it could be just a bug that Netmarble needs to fix. The other thing is all the uniforms that now they put available for gold. I want to say thank you to Netmarble for that. That's pretty damn awesome that they lowered the price of all those uniforms, and also the fact that they made all of these uniforms for half the price. I think that's absolutely fantastic. No pun intended to the Fantastic Team, the Fantastic Four, but I think that's pretty damn awesome that they did that. You know, give us half price uniforms. Also, I want to thank them for the fact that if you want to, change your option on an ISO 8 set, you can actually scroll between, you can click one of the ones you want to destroy, for example, like the dodge ones. I can click this and I can go ahead and hit it, pay the 100,000 gold, and get it. Before, you had to actually scroll and scroll and scroll all the way down to the bottom before you got to the dodge ones or the HP ones, which we typically don't use. So that's a massive quality of life change, and I just want to say thank you for that one. Now, let's get to talking about the uniforms, starting with the Fantastic Four. Now, I've tested all these uniforms briefly, not a whole lot to be perfectly honest. I can tell you that all three of these uniforms are upgrades. They are stronger than what they were, but it really, I think, to get the full estimate of how strong they really are, you're just going to have to transcend them. And in all honesty, that's really when you're going to know how well they're going to do against Null and Mephisto, which is what everybody wants to know. You have 2 blast types and 1 combat. You know, and Thing, I honestly think Thing is just going to remain probably a support character, in all honesty, for the Fantastic Four. For PvP and maybe in PvE, because of the 40% increase of all attack, which will be good for both PvP and PvE. But then again, the effect reflect of all attacks, and the decrease all damage received reflected effects by 50%. And Sue here, she actually has, let me see if I can find it here. She gives the activation rate when hit, applies to all allies, grants 75% invisibility, and ignores targeting for 2 seconds. This could be very useful also in PvE and PvP, because the boss won't see you, or the player that you're playing against in PvP won't see you. So that's something to think about. And Johnny here, really, in my opinion, is going to be the one that's really going to shine as far as damage, because, you know, they gave him a good kit, but really what it comes down to is his awakened skill. On his awakened skill, it doesn't show it here, but when you level this thing up, he's going to get a plus 1.2% damage accumulation. That's an insane damage accumulation. Why they just gave it to Johnny and they didn't give it to Sue and Ben is beyond me. I think that's kind of effed up in all reality, especially since Sue Storm is actually stronger than Johnny. But I am happy that Johnny's getting it, because he's a very free-to-play character that you can pick up. And I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with the uniform. It is an upgrade. It is stronger than his previous uniform. All these uniforms are actually stronger than their previous uniforms. So especially if you don't have any uniforms for any of these three characters, I think they are worth buying. They're going to make them a lot stronger, but in all honesty, until I get them transcended, I really don't know how strong they're going to be. But I do think Johnny is the one that's going to shine, especially in PvE content. And then we have the 3 tier 3s. And this is where it gets pretty interesting. Now, Professor X, I don't have at tier 3, unfortunately. And I did test his damage against Thanos, and the conclusion I was coming up to was, yeah, it's stronger, but not by a whole lot. I mean, but I do have the uniform just at normal, so that's something to keep in mind. And I am doing just a quick rundown of these characters, so I need to do further testing before I give a more accurate representation of what these characters are capable of. But this is just my initial thoughts. But Professor X, because he has this lower cooldown on his 5th skill, I mean, this is a 8.5 second cooldown versus when he has this look here, his basic look, this is actually on 10 seconds. So it's losing, over a second of time with this uniform. And I think that's really what's going to make a difference. It does do more damage. You are going to have more attack stats because of the uniform bonus, but really the fact that cooldown's a little bit lower is going to enable you to do more damage over time. I don't know if it's a must buy in all honesty, and I really don't know if it's going to make Professor X really over the top for World Boss Legend. I don't think it will, but I don't really know because I don't have him at tier 3. And then we have the Maker, who I do have at tier 3. Now this is a native tier 2 character, and I did compare this uniform versus this uniform. Now to be fair, the Maker uniform is at normal, and this uniform is at legendary. And the conclusion I was coming up to was the damage was pretty close to the same. Yeah, the Maker's damage is better, but it's not by some massive, insane margin. It looks relatively close. I mean, it's better, and I'm sure if I had this uniform at legendary versus the Future Foundation of legendary, it would have been a little bit, there'd been more of a difference, obviously, because I would have had higher attack stats. But that is the conclusion I'm coming to. I don't think the Maker really is that much better than the Future Foundation uniform in all honesty. But I'm going to be testing him a lot more just to make sure of this. I mean, this again, guys, is just the initial reaction I have to these characters after the little bit of testing that I've already done. And then we come to the big dog, Iron Man. Now, Iron Man is a whole different subject compared to the other guys. This uniform puts him over the top. He is massively stronger than what he was. And to put things in perspective, look at my energy attack. It's 43,800. When I equip the in-game uniform, we're at 45,100. The in-game uniform has less energy attack than the Superior Iron Man uniform because the in-game uniform is actually at Mythic. And this uniform, I mean, they didn't change the tier 3, but his skills are really where it's at as far as what they did for this guy. I mean, he does have the 5-second immunity on his 3rd skill. He does have paralysis that applies for 3 seconds, and he gets a 30% increase of all attack. Before, this was 30% increased damage to super villains, so they actually made him more versatile, and he's a super villain now, but they made him more versatile for superheroes and super villains. So if we actually do get a World Boss Legend that is a superhero, this would actually do more damage, although I don't think we will, but still, all attack is amazing. And then the 4th skill gives him a nice 20% recovery of heal that you actually get at the beginning of the skill, which is massive, my friends. And in the 5th skill, you can actually instantly cancel this, get that damage proc by 50% for 1 attack, and do a ton of damage. And, as far as the build, guys, you see the energy attack. We have max everything else. All of his other stats are maxed out. You also get the 50% to critical damage in this uniform. That is insane. And then you get the increased guaranteed dodge rate by 33%. That's going to help your survivability a little bit. You always have that heal. He's got fully awakened power bank rock set. He does have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Odin's blessings. The rest of his energy tech gurus are at 6-star. He has a CTP of rage. Now, I do think the rage is optimal, and for a couple reasons. One, the proc seems to trigger quite often, even with a rage on Iron Man, which is actually really good, especially since he doesn't have any guaranteed critical rate, which really surprised me. It actually triggers quite often. But I do think a CTP of energy or regular damage proc would play very well for this character, because you can instantly cancel his third skill, his fourth skill, or instantly cancel his third into his fifth, into his fourth, to do a ton of damage. And as far as the uniform bonus, he does have the increased damage to enemies with 30% HP or lower by 200%. I'm going to show you a little run with him and show you just how strong Iron Man is. Now, this is freaking crazy. I was actually blown away by how much power he has. Now, I do have 6% pierce in my cards, and I do have about 100% energy attack. But this is stage 9. All right? And we're going to throw on Iron Man. And we're going to put Cyclops, for the 35% increase of all attack and the 30% increase to energy attack. And we're going to use these strikers. Now, we don't need that healing striker at all, matter of fact, but I'm just going to go ahead and run with that team because it does have some ignore dodge. Actually, we'll just run with this team because it has 2 ignore dodge strikers. And with Valkyrie, that'll give us a total of 70% ignore dodge, which is more than enough. And then we have 3 damage to supervillain strikers. Now watch this and watch how easy he is to play. So you just want to cancel the 3 into the 5 into the 4. And look, the proc already triggered. And look at his damage, guys. Look at his damage. Still has very good movement speed. And that one skill does insane damage. Now look at the damage. Look at this. Look at that. Bye-bye bars. I'm going to try to avoid the semi-invasion here. Good movement speed. And boom, look at this. Here we go. And watch that 1. Now look at the damage from that 1. That's crazy. We're going to move around. We're going to move around. Try not to get caught. Try not to get caught. Here we go. Now watch this. Look at the damage. I mean, come on. Look at the power of this guy. Great movement speed. We can get out of all these attacks. We can avoid taking any kind of damage because we're actually in an iframe, which is awesome. We'll run around. We're going to run around. Run up. And boom. Now look at that. Look at that. In 1 minute, Iron Man was able to do stage 9, this first phase, in 1 minute. That is how strong he is. Now let's put things in perspective. Let's put things in perspective, my friends. So I'm going to switch out Iron Man and I'm going to put in Odin. And everybody knows how strong Odin is, right? We'll just go ahead and use the same strikers. I know Odin doesn't need it. He has 100% ignore dodge from his 4th skill. But I'm just going to put things in perspective for you guys. Check this out. Let's see how fast Odin does this. Now, Odin is a freaking beast, right? So we did get caught. We did get caught. Okay. No big deal. With Odin, we don't have to worry about dying here. All right, we'll go back over here, back over here, back over here. We'll hit that 5th skill, and we'll be able to throw in our tier 3. And we're gonna run around, we're gonna run around. We're gonna get caught in that. All right, we got caught. No big deal, no big deal. We're just gonna go ahead and wait. Now, I know this isn't the perfect run, but this will definitely give you an idea of how strong Iron Man really is. Now look at this, guys. Now look at this. Now I'm not trying to make Odin look bad. This was a bad run, right? This wasn't a very good run. But even so this was a bad run. Look at how long this is taking. Now, that's in the same amount of time. Now, Odin is stronger. That was just a really bad run. He is stronger than Iron Man. But the fact that Iron Man is hanging in there with Odin, is something to behold, my friends. This is a native tier 1 character. Iron Man is a native tier 1 character that's completely free, cheap to level up. You got Odin, who's a freaking native tier 2 that costs an insane amount to level up, and yet here they throw out Ironman, who is massively cheaper and super easy to play. And I do feel he's going to play very, very well with the proc. Let's go bring that back up. Because of the fact that you can cancel his 3, his 5, and his 4, I honestly think that right now, from all the testing I've done, that Ironman is the standout character. That is massively insane, my friends. That is crazy that I could actually compare the damage between Ironman and Odin. Think about that. Think about that. That is freaking insane that I could compare damage from this character to Odin. I'm going to be using Ironman as one of my daily clears now, guys. That's how good he is. I'm going to be using him as one of my daily clears. Which uni is a must buy? In my opinion, it is Ironman. It is a must buy. It is a freaking insanely strong uniform. Now, the jury's still out on the Maker and Professor X. In all honesty, guys, I really want to play with them a little bit longer before I give a accurate assessment of what I really think. I mean, so far, I do feel a bit disappointed with them. I don't think they're really that much of an upgrade so far. I need to test them further to really have a better judgment of them. But Ironman, it's massive. And I will do more videos about Ironman just to show you guys the difference between this uniform and the in-game uniform. It is an insane uniform. Without showing you guys, I was actually able to do stage 9 null a minute faster. The first phase, a minute faster with the superior Ironman uniform at normal rank compared to the in-game uniform, mythic. Think about that. By the way, guys, my Odin, just for put things in perspective, has a mythic uniform. Ironman has a normal ranked uniform. Just throwing it out there. Ironman is freaking nuts, guys. Seriously, standout characters so far of this update, but I really am happy with everything else in the update except for those bugs. But let me know how you're all feeling about this update. Let me know what you think about all the new uniforms and characters, and let me know what you think about Ironman. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.